Hi aspirants, welcome to VISHNU IAS Academy. As we all know, we have started a program called Prakriti and we are going on with this series. Today I want to speak something about Conference of Parties 27 that is going on right now. As we speak, there are discussions and debates that are going on in Egypt. That means the COP27 is going on in Egypt. So today we will learn about something about COP27. COP27 is taking place at Sharm el Sheikh, Egypt. This is a place in Egypt. It's a coastal city. This meeting is happening there, and it is taking place from November 6 to November 18, 2022. So everybody might be in a doubt, why are we discussing this topic today? Because it's a current relevant topic and it's going on. If I discuss the background of this topic today, you might be able to follow the minutes of meeting and the resolution that ultimately have taken place. So I thought I would be discussing this topic. And here, first of all, in order to know what is COP, you should be knowing about UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So here are we knowing about UNFCCC, which has been signed in the year 1992 at Earth Summit that has taken place. So this Earth Summit is also known as Rio de Janeiro Summit. Here they have come up with something called UNFCCC. What happens is the main objective. What is the main objective of UNFCCC? UNFCCC's main objective is to, stabilize the greenhouse gases that are the major reason for climate change. So they have come up with this. What is so why are, ma'am, when we are talking about COP, why you are talking about UNFCCC? COP is nothing but an apex, highest decision making body of UNFCCC. As you all know, there is something. See, when we take example of polity, you have this Council of Ministers headed by Prime Minister. In the same way, UNFCCC has, in the same way, you have a Cabinet Ministers. What is the difference between Council and the Cabinet of Ministers? Cabinet Ministers are the decision-making body of the Council of Ministers. So here it is that the COP is nothing but a highest decision-making body of UNFCCC. So this meeting is going on in Egypt right now. So when we come, so what has triggered, what will be the main agenda that has been designed for COP27 that made us to, have COP27, and what would be discussed there? Because extreme weather events that are taking place nowadays, and not implementing Paris Agreement 2015 as per the rules and regulations, that has triggered and called for renewed solidarity. You should be using this word in your notes because these are few words, not only in this subject. As I already told, terms are very important for any given subject. Renewed solidarity is called for to deliver Paris Agreement 2015. To someone who doesn't know about Paris Agreement is nothing but is a part of UNFCCC's COP, okay. I will be discussing it in detail. So I will not be discussing it here, but I'll make a separate video of it. So when you see this, it happens, they're calling for implementation of Paris Agreement. And COP27 is known as, when you know about COP27, you should be knowing who are the major personalities that have come up, they have spoke about COP27. See, these statements are so very important that you can be noting these statements in your introduction of answers that would add value to your answer. So here something, Egyptian Foreign Minister and President have termed COP27 as implementation COP. That means there's nothing new that we are going to, set targets of. Here we are not setting any targets. Here we are working for implementation. So what are we going to implement through COP27? We are calling for implementation of nationally determined contribution that are part of Paris Agreement. As I have already told, I would be discussing Paris Agreement in a separate video. So as of now, you can just know what NDCs are part of Paris Agreement. We are calling for implementation of NDCs and implementation of Paris Agreement in COP27. So here, and there was another major statement that has come from United Nations General Secretary. So he said, work together now to cut emissions or condemn future generations to climate catastrophe. See, this is something, these statements, you can use them in your essay as well as your introduction of answers. This one thing shows how important is to work for climate change. May it be a rich country, may it be a poor country, developed or developing. Any given country, how important it is to work for the betterment of the environment that we are living in. So he has stated this regarding COP27, and he also stated COP27 should become a pact between rich and poor countries. He says that See, why he has spoken about rich and poor countries is that rich countries, they have, as all we know about the evolution, how we came across industrial revolution, what is the situation of India, what was going on in the Western world, what is happening in the Eastern. There's something called North and South divide. Just understand something, there's something called developed and developing countries. So, at the cost of the environment, before we started, at least to even back then when we were, having no independence, they started industrial revolution. They have come up with industrial revolution. They have established industries. They have polluted more. They have contributed to the larger part of the pollution that is happening in the world today. So when he says pact between rich and poor countries, as of today, when I speak about, when I discuss about Paris Agreement, I'd be detailedly explaining these things. But as of now, you understand that at the cost of development of poorer countries, rich countries have developed. So they have to, compensate to the loss that developing countries are going on because of catastrophes and all. This will be discussed in the part of Paris Agreement. As of now, they should be having a pact. And the next slide here, we see about the COP27 agenda. Every meeting should have an agenda. What is the agenda of COP27? So here we have divided it into 5 sections. This agenda of COP27 decides about something called food security and agriculture systems, water and nature systems, human settlement systems, and infrastructure and planning and finance. So these are the 5 subsections that are that have been divided for agenda of COP27. So when we see, if you want it in detail, like what does food security and agriculture system, what are the targets set and all, if you want, please do comment below so that I will make a separate video on it as well. So what are the major initiatives? So when we come up with agenda and all, we also think about the initiative that we should be part of. So here 2 initiatives have been decided as part of COP27. What are the 2 major initiatives that are going to be part of COP27 is that they are going to come up with International Climate Change University at Sri Lanka, and there will be one more ancillary unit of this university at Maldives. What does this show you? There's something very common with Sri Lanka and Maldives. Nothing more special, they are just island countries. So why are they establishing this university at Sri Lanka? Think of one thing, both being island countries and the rise of sea levels in the recent past, to press the fact that island countries are at the verge of collapse. You have to work for the climate change. That is the main objective. They are establishing a university at Sri Lanka and ancillary unit at Maldives as part of COP27 initiative. And there is something, a wind pact, there is a pact that is being signed by UAE, United Arab Emirates, and Egypt regarding establishment of world's largest wind farm mill. I mean, they are going to produce 10 gigawatts onshore wind project they are going to establish at the coast of Egypt. So this is something like a shift from non-renewable to renewable, and to show that they are committed. And what is India's stand? Any given day, any given convention, any given international relation, all you have to do is what is India's part in that in that convention or agreement or anything. So what is India's stand in COP27? India is going to majorly, press on 2 things. One is that, this $100 billion thing is part of Paris Agreement again. So, in order to understand this, I will be explaining that in any way. $100 billion climate finance that has been promised by developed countries to developing and underdeveloped countries as part of Paris Agreement. India is going to press on that fact. And enhance the transparency by more and more institutional mechanisms to work for the climate protection. So India is going to press on these 2 facts, and they are going to put forward their views on these 2 important points. So what are we expecting from you? COP27 is something that is going on right now. Whenever any day you open the paper, you see something or the other debate that is going on at COP27. See, COP27 is called Implementation COP by Egyptian Foreign Minister and President. So it is all about implementation. So I explained the background and things that are going to be discussed in COP27, so that you might be able to follow something in newspaper and make sense out of it. So this is how I thought, and I'll make a video on Paris Agreement, because in order to understand this, you have to learn that. And also COP27, that means you have 26 other COPs, Conference of Parties before. So ma'am, are they all important? few of them are very important that you should learn, and you might know the time frame. So in order to, if you want that, please let me know in the comments. I'll make a different video out of it, like all the COPs and what is the background that went into it, and what are the important COPs and the points to remember from which conference of parties. I'll make a video on it. So thank you for watching the video. Any doubts you can ask in the comment section. We will be able to happily answer your queries. And please do subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.